And now let's welcome our next combatant to the cage, Joe Kayumba.
Making his amateur debut from Seattle, Washington is Joe Kayumba. And joining you right now here on Nesson, Michael Parenti and Greg Gribbs-Rebello bringing you the action here at CES 82. This is the second of two amateur bouts before we get to our stacked pro card. And Greg, we saw a great one in the first go-around with Noah Skiyama getting the victory.
Yep.
Amateur debut, do you remember yours?
I didn't have an amateur debut.
No.
Back in 2005, I went right to the pros. I wish I had an amateur debut so I could, kind of get the butterflies out and everything here.
It's a different game.
It is. Joe Kayumba, they said it's his amateur debut, but I did some research, and he's definitely fought in a cage. I don't know if it was an unsanctioned or a smoker, but I was able to get the whole video, and he looked good, great striking, and he ended up finishing the fight with a rear naked choke, so he ended up submitting the guy.
So don't believe everything you read online.
Yes,
no, you
so
sometimes can get fooled into
He
thinking.
is a very high-level striker. I know he was competed at a very high level in Taekwondo. His kicks, very fast, very athletic, very big and tall for the weight class. Again, this seems to be another striker versus grappler matchup.
And now make some noise for his opponent, Dante Delbonis.
And you hear that roar from the crowd for the hometown favorite, Dante Delbonis from Cranston, Rhode Island, the home of the Park Theater where we are tonight. 1-0 as an amateur. He won his amateur debut at CES 81 in just 49 seconds with a rear naked choke. Greg, so many accolades to talk about with Dante Delbonis, a tremendous grappler, grappled 3 times at CES before making his AMI debut.
Yep.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt, tremendous standout wrestler at Sacred Heart University. Really just a total package when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, these new wave of guys coming into MMA, you see a lot of the top guys that are going to the UFC, they came out of a collegiate career of wrestling. And Dante wrestled at a very high level, Division I. But he's got a ton of experience with kickboxing, too. He's got 4 or 5 kickboxing, boxing smokers. He's competed on every grappling circuit from here to California. The kid's got a ton of experience and a very bright future for this kid.
Familiar face applying the Vaseline there. That's Gary Boletto III.
Double champ.
Double champion for CES MMA, also an accomplished boxer with CES Boxing.
Yeah.
And right now starring in bare knuckle fighting. So he is making his rounds in different formats and platforms. Dante Delbonis outside getting some last-minute instructions, and CES obviously hoping to keep him within the family and one day be there in that same corner when he eventually makes his professional debut, which could come at any time. As you mentioned, Greg, during the Open, amateur careers in MMA do not last as long as they do in boxing.
No, of course, and it's tough to find fights. Somebody could look Dante up, Division I wrestler, and I get it. They're going to stay away from that until they get some experience. So, Dante wins this fight or another couple. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he turns pro.
CES MMA President Jimmy Birchfield Sr. in the background, keeping a close eye on Delbonis, one of the prized prospects coming out of New England. CES trying to really replenish that roster from some of the years of fighters who have graduated and gone on to the UFC, who are retired. And this right now, Delbonis really representing the new wave as we start getting ready for the future of CES MMA. With that, let's send it back up to Zach Levake for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our second amateur bout of the evening. It is a 3-round battle in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his amateur debut. He weighed in at 183 pounds, fighting out of Seattle, Washington, Joe Kayumba. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner with a 1-0 record, weighing in at 184 pounds, fighting out of your Cranston, Rhode Island, Dante the Barbarian Delbonis. Referee Jordan Riley.
Here we go, ready for amateur bout number 2. Dante Delbonis taking on Joe Kayumba from Seattle.
Now the striker versus grappler matchup. Last fight was 2 wrestlers. But this, I expect to see Dante look for a takedown here.
And there it is.
Immediately. Didn't last too long. Joe doing the right thing, trying to stuff the head and work his way back to the fence. But Dante is relentless with these takedowns here. And he's going to try to look to settle Joe here. But Joe's doing a great job of getting up and getting back to his feet.
And Greg, is it tougher for somebody like Dante in this smaller cage, not a lot of real estate?
I think it's easier because he can. It depends, because some wrestlers prefer to be, or when you wrestle typically in college or in high school, you're wrestling on a mat. There's no fence. But Dante's adapted well to the MMA, and a lot of guys like to use the fence for their takedowns. So it depends. It's kind of a preference.
Delbonis climbing on top of Kayumba.
Yep, this is one of his favorite chokes. He's going to look to jump on the back. But Joe's doing a great job here. He's going to try to look to break that grip against the fence. But Dante's comfortable here. But Joe's very tall. As you can see, he's having trouble jumping on his back. In Dante's last fight, his first fight that he finished, that was a little short. He jumped right in his back and won by a rear naked choke. But he's going to look to put his left over Dante's head. He wants to try to get that whizzer and try to get his head on the inside. Or you're going to go 2-on-1 here against the fence and try to break away. But this is a big chess match here because Joe doesn't want to make any mistakes. But he's doing the right thing. 2-on-1 here. Dante's still looking to jump to the back. A break from the back. Interesting. I've never seen that, to be honest.
Referee breaks up. We reset with 90 seconds to go in round one.
Yeah, Joe's probably going to look for some front kicks.
Oh, big kick upstairs, and he catches him. And Delbonis is in some trouble. They're calling timeout.
Timeout, yeah. No kicks to the face, right? Timeout for a kick to the face.
Kayumba pleading his case, referee not having any of it.
Wait, what is he saying now? Oh, so these kicks to the face. I think when he went to the ground, he punched in the face. So in this match, I believe because Dante only has one amateur fight, you can't punch to the face on the ground. Once you have Noah Scalmo is 3-1. Once you have 2 amateur fights or 3, then you can punch to the ground.
Very interesting turn of events
so
for Delbonis.
So the front kick to the face, you see Dante fall down.
Yes.
Right, and then he goes on and starts. I think he punched him in the face a couple of times. It happened so fast. So you cannot strike to the head in these amateurs on the ground.
I wonder if it's just instinct sometimes with the fighter. You
No, of
see
course.
a downed opponent,
Yeah,
and your instinct is to go in there and finish the fight, but within the rules of the amateur circuit. So Delbonis gets as much time as he wants to recover. Referee says he is taking the point, and there it is. So Kayumba is going to lose that point for the strike for what we believe is while Delbonis was on the ground. And here we go. Action resumes. 1 minute to go here in the opening round. And again, the kick upstairs. Delbonis goes down, but now he wraps up the leg.
But Dante's comfortable here.
Yeah. Kayumba seems like he's not sure what the rules are.
And that's what I mean. I don't know if there's no leg locks here on the ground because of the shin pads.
Sloppy scramble, but Kayumba breaks free. Referee's going to let Delbonis get back to his feet. Bleeding from the eye, and he's going to stop it.
Yep.
So it looks like Kayumba's going to get the victory.
Anytime an amateur starts to bleed or there's a cut, they're going to stop that fight.
And that cut, I believe, was the result of the first front kick earlier in the round.
Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah,
he tried to keep going forward.
It could have been that. It could have been the punch on the ground. It could have been any one of them.
And you see it from here, a lot of blood coming from that left eye of Dante Delbonis. A tough break for Delbonis here in his homecoming at the Park Theater in Cranston. Took a couple of face kicks from Kayumba, and that's all she wrote. Referee stops it with just under a minute to go in the opening round. Here's some replay action here, Greg.
So let's see the front kick here.
That's
initially,
the first.
I mean, it looks like
that's the second one.
Yes, but he was the first one. He's bleeding out of the mouth, so it might be that second one because you can see his eyes starting to bleed fresh now here.
I believe this is the first one.
This is the first one.
Oh,
that's to the mouth. Yeah,
wow.
So that's to the mouth, and then the punch is here on top.
And
so
the punches is where
that's why they stopped it, and you can see Dante saying it's illegal.
And it did seem like for a minute, Greg, too, that Kayumba not sure what to do after that second front kick or what the rules might be. There was some confusion there, I think, on that part, and perhaps it wasn't explained well enough. But in any event, Joe Kayumba gets the victory over Dante Delbonis. Fight stopped due to the cuts. Let's send it back up to our cage announcer, Zach Levake, for the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes and 19 seconds into round number 1. Your winner via TKO, Joe Kayumba.
So 2:19 into round number 1, the victory for Joe Kayumba. Tough break for Dante Delbonis as he tries to progress in his amateur career. Certainly will reset and go back to the drawing board to see what went wrong there. That's what amateurs are for.
What the amateurs are for. Yep, you get in there against a tough kid.
And that's how it goes. Don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more to come on NESN as we get ready for the start of our pro card here at CES 82.